Hey y'all, welcome back to another Mask Monday. Today we're going to look at some Trick or Treat Studios originals, all sculpted by David Smith. Alright, so I'm super excited to talk about these. As I said before, these were all sculpted by David Smith. He is a super talented movie effects person, but he's also been making masks for a really long time. And these are three of my favorite Trick or Treat Studios masks that have come out in a while. I always love when they do originals, and they always get really awesome, talented artists to make those originals. And these are no different, and these are really cool. This is the Lab Chimp, this is the Time Ghoul, and this is the Lab Monster. Let's take a look at the Lab Monster first, because he's my favorite. Alright, so this is the Lab Monster. This is one of my favorite masks that Trick or Treat Studios has ever put out. This is an older sculpt. I think it was originally produced by Death Studios, but that mask was, it looked a lot different. It was the same sculpt, but it was like very, very green and very kind of like airbrushy, and it was a really cool mask in its own right as well. But I really like the way that these ones came out from TOTS. It's got a lot more of a realistic paint job to it. Instead of like a bright green, it's kind of like that dead, fleshy, zombie yellow kind of base with it looks like a dark brown rub out, and then like the nasty kind of blood and all that for the scars or wounds you'd call them or whatever, and then super silver like staples for the sutures. And then a cool thing too that's really nasty is his mouth is all like black and slimy, and he has like these like swamp green dead eyes that are just really cool, and again just like black lips and just like that nasty black ooze like the penguin from Batman Returns or something. It's just like kind of a really gross, very kind of realistic, nasty looking version of the Frankenstein monster. Again, he's called Lab Monster or whatever, but I think it's pretty clear what David was going for when he sculpted it, and he did an awesome job. It's a really big mask, and it's almost like a cross between like the traditional like flathead Frankenstein that you'd see and like kind of the Bernie Wrightson version of Frankenstein. So it's kind of like a cool kind of cross between those two. And again, I think they pulled it off really well. I really like the metallic silver that they used for his like electrodes on the side of his head, which that's another cool thing. You know, usually you see the electrodes will be on Frankenstein's neck, but they went for the head on these ones. And then again, like all those kind of like staple sutures are really cool. And then he's got these nasty, you know, kind of cracks in his skin where they're kind of decaying, and the cuts are spreading or whatever. And it goes all the way down to the bib. Just got this classic like Frankenstein-y bib. And yeah, I don't know, they just did a really awesome job with this one. I'm really happy to see this mask get new life. And yeah, that's about it for the Lab Monster. I guess let's look at the Lab Chimp now. Alright, so this is the Lab Chimp, again sculpted by David Smith. I really love the sculpture on this one. Like the skin detail is just incredible. It's that kind of skin texture that like you'd only see from someone who works in makeup effects. It's just done really, really well. Again, it's like a Frankenstein kind of chimp mask, so he's got those same kind of like scar sutures going through with the same silver that we saw in the Lab Monster. But again, what I really like about this one is in like certain spots, and the Lab Monster had this too, but in certain spots now you can really see it without the hair. Like right here, there's one, you know, kind of clamp or whatever there, but then it kind of spreads from there. It's not just that one singular like incision that like is like clamped back together. And again, we got the electrodes on the head, so it's like a cool kind of take on it. And other than that, it's just a really cool chimp mask. The sculpture is like hyper realistic, but then they gave him this like kind of dark green skin tone and with like a brown rub out to it. So he's very kind of outside of reality, but then the sculpture is so kind of realistic that it's kind of rooted in reality still. So, and then he's got these big old chimp ears. I like masks with big old ears. That's about all I can say about it. It's just done really well, and I'm happy to get these in a mass-produced, affordable version. So, yep, let's look at the Time Ghoul, which is a super cool mask. All right, so this is the Time Ghoul mask. This is so cool. I kind of said that the Lab Monster is my favorite, but I'm not really sure. It's kind of tied with the Time Ghoul here. I love the paint job on this. That blue with that black rub out is so cool. And then his eyes are awesome. This like crazy pupil, like slitty thing. I don't even know what to call it. It's just a really cool design, and he's got this like yellow, red, orange eye with these like kind of you know, slanty pupils. But they're not just like, you know, regular like snake slits or like goat. You know, they're kind of gross and like weird looking. Like there's something wrong with them. And then he's got this like kind of horseshoe white hair in the back that's a nice touch. And it's got these weird like little lumps on his head that are awesome. The skin texture is really cool, but then just like the overall primary forms of this mask, these like crazy big brows and like the forehead wrinkles and everything. And again, I really like these ears. They're like kind of like folded over in a weird way. I love the paint job that they do on this. It's super simple, but I think that this mask would be really cool in like a realistic like skin tone. I also like his big old teeth. I always love when masks do that, when like he had his big old overbite, just like a classic nasty ghoul. And he's a time traveling ghoul, so he's really cool. And the more I stare at it, the more I just really love this mask. Like these kind of wrinkles in his cheek, this is just, they're just so cool. And then this like really nasty nose, and then again these brows, these really big lumpy brows. Just an awesome mask. I think I might actually, this one may be my favorite now that I'm just kind of staring at it up close. David Smith is an amazing sculptor. He's worked on a lot of really cool movies that I like. He's got a really distinct style, and he's kind of like been one of those secret weapons in the effects industry. And so I'm happy to see that he's got a few originals in Trick or Treat Studios line now. I hope that he gets a lot more masks there because I'll buy all of them. I love when Trick or Treat Studios, Justin and all them will go out and find masks and mask makers or artists that they love, and get them to make some original masks for Trick or Treat Studios. And he did an awesome job with these, so that'll do it. All right, I hope you all enjoyed the masks from David Smith. Make sure you let me know in the comments any other masks that you've seen David work on that you'd like to see Trick or Treat Studios mass produce. I know I'd like to see all of them turned into affordable masks. He's super talented, and anything I can get my hands on, I'll take. Like, share, subscribe, visit us at nightmaretoys.com, and we'll see you next week for another Mask Monday.